Roach Farm and Garden is a fun and festive place to shop this fall. If you like to hunt, look no further. We have the best in food plot seeds, deer feeders, stands, and camouflage. Not to mention the latest in high-tech hunting accessories. Check out our line of Drake and Carhartt clothing along with Georgia boots, including the best price on snake protection boots anywhere. Science Diet pet foods, garden seeds, wheat straw, dog houses, and Holland grills. We have the stuff you need for a festive fall season. Roach Farm and Garden, serving you in 2 convenient locations.
Catherine is my dear friend Cindy's granddaughter, first granddaughter.
Yes, first grandchild. Yeah, and this is Kate, and Kate was going to help us cook, but it's getting close to a bedtime, isn't it? So
yes,
but,
yes. Well, I'm Pilar Archila with Pure Gold, and we have a little friend here that is going to help us cook today.
We're going to make apple cream cheese filled spiced cake with praline frosting.
That sounds delicious.
There goes our headband. But it's been a while.
I know it's been a while, and this is a great time of the year.
Oh, definitely. We have birthdays coming.
Both of our birthdays. We're twins.
Yeah.
And
separated by many years.
Cindy, I'm so excited about the flowers.
Yes.
They are from
Colombia. Extremeria, yes.
Yes.
I thought that they gave a touch of fall. And hopefully our recipe today will be smelling like fall, which is in the air and everything. And
it's going to be like that. Well, Kate,
Look
say
at there.
hello to the camera.
Say
Say
hey,
hi.
Kate. Hey. Hey.
And we're going
He's
to
mesmerized.
Daddy's not dark-headed, is he?
Well, we're
A
going to
little
be
bit.
back, and we're going to make our delicious recipe.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, say good night, Pilar.
Sweet love. Well, after the exciting part, seeing how big Katie is.
Oh my gosh, they grow up so too fast.
Yes. Tell me about it.
Yeah.
Mine are almost 8 and 5.
Oh goodness.
So, they're big.
Well, we are going to get started on our apple cream cheese filled cake. And we're first going to make the filling, which is 8 ounces of cream cheese that's been softened, and also a 1/4 cup or a half a stick of butter, which is also been softening. So we're going to get that mixed up together and blended really good. And to that, we are going to add some granulated sugar, 1 egg that's going to be lightly beaten, and some vanilla.
Have you left the egg room temperature?
Yes, I got it to come to room temperature.
I heard it's better to
cook with it being room temperature because it will just fluff up more.
Okay.
And that's what we want it to do. We want this filling to be a cream cheesy light filling.
Okay.
And that's going to be in the middle of our spice cake.
Where did you get that recipe from?
I happened to run across it on the internet the other day, and it had so many likes of people that said that it's become a staple in the fall.
That's the one that I said to you, I love it.
Yeah, well, that's it. And since you have a birthday coming up, I thought, what better to do than a nice apple fallish looking cake? And so we're going to give it a try.
I'm very excited about my birthday. Just because we're having a cake.
Oh, okay. Well, we're going to get started on this.
All right.
Okie doke. And like I said, we're probably going to make a little bit of noise here. But we need to get this blended together.
All right. It's all mixed.
Mm-hmm.
And now we're going to beat up the egg also.
Yes, we're going to lightly beat the egg. And I just have this little bitty whisk that I've had probably for years. And it's just right for, like, mixing up an egg or something when it says lightly beat. Rather than, you can't do it at a big mixer like this, or even with a fork doesn't quite seem to get it quite enough, even though you can use a fork. But I've just had this little whisk
You
for
have
years.
to use your little whisk.
That's right. Yeah.
Have a reason
to use my little whisk. I mean, it's so tiny. What else would it be used for?
It's
Yeah.
super cute.
So, okay, so to our cream cheese, we are going to add 2 tablespoons of flour.
All right.
We're just going to put that in there.
Now,
And
are you going to use the mixer for the rest of, or you do it by hand?
we're going to continue to use the mixer because
Okay.
we need to get some air in there and make sure that it's
Alright.
nice and fluffy. And
Okay.
we're also going to do a 1/2 cup of sugar. And I don't know what happened to my 1/2 cup. Oh, right in front of me. Would have bit me, huh? But we're going to do a 1/2 cup of granulated sugar.
All of this is what is going to go inside of the cake.
Mm-hmm. Let's see, make sure that I'm getting the right amounts. Okay, and then once we get the sugar and that mixed in, we're going to add the egg and some vanilla, and then our filling will be nice.
We'll be ready.
We'll be ready to go. We're just going to put that to the side while we get our batter ready.
All right. So you add the eggs.
Add the
you
egg.
Add the vanilla.
And 1 teaspoon of vanilla. We're going to finish it up now. So it's nice and fluffy. I'm not afraid of this.
It's going to start flying all over
I know.
the place.
I hope I have a little bit I need to get out of here. Sometimes it does get stuck up in here a little bit, so I'm just going to get it down and give it another
A little bit.
little bit more. Make sure we get it all. Okay,
All right.
so here is our cream cheese
that is
and
going to
our
be.
egg, our vanilla, sugar, and just a little bit of flour.
All right.
And that's going to be our filling, so we can
Our
go ahead and put
filling.
that to one side for now.
Are you sure you want it next to me?
Maybe we better move it to the other room or something, right? Both away from both of us. So, but there are 2 beaters we could lick, right? No, I'm teasing. We are going to mix.
She's not teasing.
Okay, we are going to have to
Wash.
wash our beaters because we do need them for our batter now, which is what we're going to work on next.
Okay. All right, we're ready to make our
batter now.
batter.
Yes, and we're going to start with 3 cups of all-purpose flour, not the self-rising, but the all-purpose.
Do you need to sift the flour?
No, we will not need to sift it.
Not on this one.
Not on this one.
I'm always confused when to sift and when not to sift.
Well, generally, if they want you to sift it, they'll tell you.
Okay.
And if it just says 3 cups of flour, you know.
Nobody told us to sift it, so
Nobody
we're not
said to sift
sifting it.
And a trick will be not to pack it down. You know, brown sugar you always pack down.
Okay.
But if it just says like a cup of flour, don't pat it down or
Don't
anything
just-
like that because that'll compress it and you want...
And we need air.
You need
in
some of
between.
the air.
Okay.
So we've got our 3 cups of flour.
All right.
And right now what we're going to be doing is we're going to be adding our dry ingredients
Okay.
all together. We're going to kind of mix that up.
All right.
And then to that we're going to add our wet ingredients. Kind of the same way you would make a quick bread, which is, you know, like a banana nut bread or a zucchini nut bread or something like that. You combine your dry ingredients and then you add your wet ingredients and you don't mix it a whole lot.
Right.
You just kind of want to get
Combine
it
them,
enough.
but not really.
Right.
Okay.
Right. You don't want to overmix because that's what kind of makes it tough.
Ah.
So we've
really,
got our-
when you overmix, makes it tough.
Yeah, if you've ever been like maybe to a restaurant or something like that, and you are dying for one of those wonderful baked, buttermilk biscuits, if it's kind of chewy and tough, it could be because it was stirred too much, too much stirring, and that develops too much gluten, and gluten is what holds things together.
Right.
That's what's formed when liquid hits flour. The gluten is formed. And if it's overmixed, there's too much gluten and it makes it tough.
We might end up one of these days doing some gluten-free for those.
Yeah, we could
who
do that.
Need gluten-free.
Yes. Yeah, I have a nephew-in-law who needs to be gluten-free.
Okay.
And so when they're from Oregon, and when they come to visit, the stores are starting to carry a lot more
Oh, yes.
gluten-free
I
products.
noticed that, yes.
But I had never really paid much attention to
And
it until it was
restaurants
coming.
too.
Yeah.
There is a pizza place here in town that
That
you can
now-
order gluten-free pizza.
As a matter of fact, we were in Cancun this past week, and I noticed even on the menu down there
They
that,
had gluten-free.
yeah, in many of the restaurants that were there at the resort, there was a little thing saying that it was gluten-free.
Interesting.
Yeah. So
All right. So all the dry ingredients
are going to go into this bowl.
Okay.
So we've got our flour. We're going to do
Sugar?
a cup of granulated sugar. And
Have you done this before? This recipe before?
once.
Only once.
Only once. But it looks so good and it's so wonderful. So here's our 1 cup of granulated sugar. Now we also need a cup of brown sugar.
All right.
And this is what we're going to pack the brown sugar, remember. Because
Yes.
that's the way to
But
correctly...
not the flour, but yes, the brown sugar.
the brown sugar. And what I generally do is I just put my cup, whatever size I need, into the bag that it's in, and I use the sides of the bag to kind of pack it rather than trying to pour it in and then
Right.
pack it and everything. So just by kind of using the sides, I can get a good amount.
It's a full cup.
That's a full cup of brown sugar.
And it's really packed.
It's really packed. So, and we're going
Salt.
to start adding our spices, and we have cinnamon, nutmeg, allspice.
Uh-huh.
It's ground allspice.
This is the amount of allspice that you're going to need?
No,
I was going
as
to
a matter
say
of
this is
fact,
a lot of allspice.
I didn't have ground allspice, but I had the
Ah.
whole allspice.
So
I ground it up,
Oh.
and I wanted to make sure I had enough. And I actually like grinding it because it stays
The
fresher.
flavor and
You can even smell it
yeah,
from,
I
you
can
know.
smell it now.
Right.
That's why I thought that's a lot for this.
But when you get it ground already,
Yes.
it loses its
Right.
its flavor a lot quicker, and especially
Yes.
with something like allspice that you don't use very often.
Right.
So that's why I like to keep the whole ones on
so
hand,
you can grind it.
so I can grind it up, and because we're only going to use like a half a teaspoon. But like I
Okay.
said, I wanted to make sure I had enough.
Yes.
So we're going to start with those.
She's always ready.
So first of all, we're going to do
The cinnamon.
2 teaspoons of cinnamon. I should put my glasses on, I guess, right? But 2 teaspoons of cinnamon.
And cinnamon is actually very good for you.
Very good. They say
A lot of good things about
for
cinnamon.
like arthritis, for
Everything.
inflammation, and for high blood pressure now.
Right.
Because I think the high blood pressure can even cause inflammation, you know, the
Right.
veins and things. So they're saying that cinnamon nowadays is.
And
you
they
should-
have cinnamon teas and all kinds
All
of things
sorts
with
of stuff.
cinnamon. Even
Yeah.
cinnamon peels that
Really?
you can buy. Mhm.
Wow. Oops.
I went to a
then we're going to do.
store in, I think it was in Macon, and they had cinnamon peels. Did
Really?
not
I have
purchase
not.
that.
I have not seen that. That's really good. And then we're going to do a quarter of a teaspoon of the nutmeg.
Yeah, the nutmeg is also strong.
Yep. So just a quarter of a teaspoon of that. And then here comes our allspice. We're going to use a half a teaspoon of our allspice.
Okay.
Like I said, you can see I still have some left.
Right.
Which is fine. I'll probably just put that in a little baggie or something and,
Yeah.
and keep that.
Container.
Right. And we do need some salt and also some
Baking
baking soda.
soda.
And we need 1 teaspoon of salt. And even though that has the cinnamon on it, we're just going to just pour our salt.
You know, the smells and everything, it smells like a pumpkin bread.
Yeah. Well, a lot of the same ingredients.
Ingredients, yeah.
Mm-hmm. So there's our salt.
And
And let's see, 1 teaspoon of the baking soda. Let me go ahead and rinse that off a little bit so I don't stick my cinnamon into my baking soda when I go to use something else. And then a teaspoon of the baking soda.
All right.
And this is, baking soda can be used as a leavening agent. In other words, that's going to help it rise a little bit.
Right.
So here's our dry ingredients. And the recipe called for putting it in like one of those KitchenAid big mix masters with the paddles.
Oh.
I don't own one. Hint, hint. I have a birthday coming.
She's having a birthday very soon.
I have a birthday coming.
Is that a hint?
And it's Christmas coming. But anyway, we're going to use our mixer, but we're going to have to be very careful.
Now, do you mix the dry ingredients with the mixer?
Yes. You want to.
I've never done that.
Yeah, you want to get them kind of
very mixed.
Yeah, distributed throughout, so you don't have a big hunk of brown sugar, especially when you're going to start adding the liquid ingredients.
Okay.
That you don't want like all the allspice in one spot, the cinnamon all in another spot, the salt in another spot.
All
so
right.
we are going to go ahead and use our mixer, and on low, because we don't want it to go flying all over the place.
So Cindy, you got all the dry ingredients.
All the dry ingredients, and as you can see, the brown sugar is now,
even though you
dispersed.
had that packed, it's
now
all distributed
mixed in
egg.
real. And we also beat 3 eggs.
Okay.
Because now we're ready to start adding our liquid ingredients, our wet ingredients, and so we are going to add 3 large eggs, which are lightly beaten. You can just dump that on in.
All right. There you go.
Okay. And then we have 3/4 of a cup of canola oil. It's a little bit lighter than like corn oil or vegetable oil or something like that. It's canola oil, so it's 3/4 of a cup, which I had already measured out. And remember, liquid ingredients, we put it in a clear container so that we can read.
Can see exactly where.
Right, exactly. So there's our 3/4 of a cup of oil. And then we're going to do 3/4 of a cup of unsweetened apple juice. Applesauce. And as a matter of fact, this is also organic.
We're making
Applesauce.
everything organic. The eggs, they were organic.
Yes. Mm-hmm. So there's 1/4, 2/4, and 3/4 of applesauce, unsweetened applesauce.
It has a lot of ingredients.
It does.
It
does. It surely does. And then we need 1 teaspoon of our vanilla again. So we've had vanilla in both our filling and in our batter.
Okay.
And we're also probably going to have it in our frosting that we're going to make in a little bit.
All right.
And here again.
Here we go again.
We just want to get our dry ingredients.
But not too mixed.
Not mixed up too much. And again, it would probably be better in a large mixer with paddles. The steel blades probably are a little bit too rough on things, but it still turns out okay. Because like I said, I have made it before and it was fine. But we're just going to go ahead and get this well blended, but not over mixed. You can see down at the bottom. We're going to get this just mixed up enough.
We got this mixed, but not too mixed.
Right. And we still have 2 more things we need to add.
All right.
We have approximately 3 cups of apples. Now, you know how apples, the minute you cut them, they start turning brown.
So you mix 2 types of apples?
Yes. As a matter of fact, I use both Gala apples, which is a sweeter apple, and then Granny Smith apples,
love the...
which is a tart apple, more like a pie apple.
Right.
So we have approximately 3 cups of apples, and I use 2 Gala and 1 Granny Smith. If you like it more tart, you could probably reverse it.
Yeah.
And
if
also
it was me, I'll probably do it the other way around.
And you might,
like
it also kind of depends upon the size of your apples too. The Granny Smith were, pretty good size this time.
Yeah, that's true.
So, and I like a lot of apples, so I'm sure I got
You
more.
were very generous.
I was very generous because I like apples. But here's our apples.
So you just kind of mix them, not...
Okay, and we also have approximately a cup of walnuts, pieces. It asks for finely chopped, but I like a little bit more substance.
Yeah, I like to see.
So I'm just going to, I'm going to dump in about a cup of walnut pieces.
Oh my goodness, this is great for my birthday.
So we need
so
to
you
get
just
that
kind of
folded in good.
fold it in, but not too.
And you can kind of see if we take the bottom and bring it up to the top.
Like when you have like egg whites and
Exactly,
and
folding
you're trying
it
to
in.
fold it in.
Mm-hmm. You can see how yummy this batter looks.
And smells.
Yes, it does.
So it's all mixed.
Yes, and we're going to go get our cake pan.
Uh-huh.
And Laura, you know, you and I were joking when I told you what recipe we were going to make, that when I thought about all the recipes we've done in the past, I realized that we use this bundt pan more than anything else, and people are going to think I own stock in, you know, the cake pan company or something.
I did not own one of these, and I ended up buying one.
Just for the recipes.
Just for the recipes. And let me tell you, I have done so many things that I love my bundt cake.
Well, what I have done is I greased and floured the bundt pan already. We're going to take about half of the batter and we're going to spread it evenly in the bottom of our bundt pan here. And it takes a little bit of while to get this all evenly distributed in here, but we have to make sure that we save enough, because after we put this layer in, we're going to put our filling in, and then we're going to top it with the rest of our cake batter. So, so it's about a
like
half
a
to
sandwich.
2/3. Yes. Mm-hmm. And
But then the filling will go
in the middle.
complete. I mean,
Yes.
the whole thing.
Yes, as a matter of fact, when we get to the filling, you'll have to make sure that you don't let the filling touch the sides of the pan, because then it will ooze out as it's cooking. So we want to kind of make sure that we
Don't
seal
worry,
it.
I'm going to let you do it.
Okay. Okay, I think we just about got it.
Uh-huh.
And like I said, you make sure that it's evenly distributed in the
Yes.
bottom. And then we're going to take our filling.
And
we're just-
again, it cannot touch.
it should
At
not
least
touch
we
the
can
middle
try.
or the side. You can kind of see where you don't want it to touch the sides
So it will just
or the
be-
middle.
Right.
So you can go up but not out with it, so to speak.
Mm-hmm.
Just kind of keep piling it in there. You're going to use it all.
Let it go in on top.
Mm-hmm. Oops, oops, oops. Yeah, catch it, catch it. It's a little hard to get it totally sometimes. I mean, it's just the nature of the beast. But we want a nice, thick center filling here. And we're gonna use it all up. So you kind of judge to see where
Where do we
we
need
need
more?
a little bit more.
Yeah.
And so just keep piling it on. See, this is probably the hardest part, is just getting this filling into here. Oh, just about there. I'd say touching a little bit, but I think we'll be all right. Okay.
And then we have the rest of the cake batter.
And what I try to do is I try to like put my filling to the outside
so the
and the inside, so
cheese
so the weight
uh-huh.
doesn't push
Right.
the cream cheese filling
Uh-huh.
further out. So
Right.
that's what I try to do first. Just kind of, and then I'll cover it. And in the meantime, we have been preheating our oven to 350 degrees, which has been, as we know, pretty standard for a lot of recipes. So, and it is, our oven will be ready to go. And you'll want it on like about the middle rack. You don't want it all the way down at the bottom, and you definitely don't want it
On
all the
top?
way to the top, because in the top, the cake will need to cook about 60 to 70 minutes. And if it's towards the top will get too dark. If it's towards the bottom's going to get too dark. So Sometimes you might have to adjust your rack accordingly, but okay, we're gonna finish covering up our
Top,
top.
so we don't see any cheese.
So there's no cheese showing, no cream cheese filling. And we should just about do it.
Wow.
It's quite the heavy cake when you go to lift it. There's a lot of batter in here. You can see why it takes so long. It's a very dense cake.
Yeah.
Kind of like when you make a pound cake or something. And get the last of this.
All right. Our cake is ready.
Ready for the oven.
Ready for the oven.
350 degrees for about 60 to 70 minutes. Okay?
So you, once in a while you check to see how it's doing?
Not really.
or
I
there's
try not to. What I'll do is when it's just about ready, when it's ready to come out, I'll set it for the 60 minutes. At 60 minutes, I'll check it with a toothpick or something, but to test for doneness. But you do have to be careful when you test this type of a cake for doneness that you don't stick the toothpick into the cream cheese filling because you won't get a good reading.
Right,
so try to
the cream
stick
cheese
it.
is moist.
Right, exactly.
Ah.
So you want to like stick the toothpick
In the
towards the
center
middle
or
towards the outside edge to make sure that you're getting it, keeping it in the cake batter, the cake itself.
All
Okay?
right.
Are you ready to go?
We're ready to put this in the oven. Cindy,
Our cake.
smells delicious.
Yes.
This is the cake,
Right. It took about 60 minutes.
right?
And it was done when we tested it. And then we let it cool in our cake pan on a wire rack for about another 10 to 15 minutes. Then we had to put it on the cake plate and we had to let it get completely cool.
Completely before we,
Start our frosting.
Yep.
Exactly.
we were patient.
Yes,
we
we
had
were.
lots of things to talk about.
Yes. So yes, you have to, when it's cooking for an hour, yes, you have to. So we are ready to do our praline frosting.
All right.
And it's going to be nice and quick and easy because it's going to be made in the microwave.
Ah,
So,
fast.
And we're going to do a quarter of a cup of butter, which is a half a stick again. And to that, we're going to do 3 tablespoons of milk.
Okay.
I shouldn't pour my left hand. Could be a disaster. I probably shouldn't be doing it over the bowl, but, Okay, there's our 3 tablespoons of milk. And we are also going to do a half a cup of brown sugar.
All right.
And again, we're going to pack it. And we're going to put it in the microwave at 30-second intervals. And we're going to do it for a total of about 90 seconds. Right. We want this sugar to dissolve and actually start to boil if we can. That will help the sugar dissolve.
Okay.
So there's a half a cup of brown sugar. We don't need to cover it or anything because at 30 seconds, it's not going to be in there
It's
as
doing a lot of
right,
stuff.
boiling over.
All
So
right.
we're going to go ahead and put it in our microwave and start our 30-second intervals.
All right. And I see that you have some powdered sugar.
Right. After the butter sugar mixture there has melted and dissolved real good, we're going to add a little bit of vanilla.
All right.
And then we're going to start beating in with just a spoon, not with the mixer or anything, but with a spoon. We're going to do a cup of powdered sugar
All right.
into our mixture.
Okay.
So it's going to be, and then when that's all finished with, we're going to drizzle it on our cooled cake and top it with some more walnuts, and voila, Pilar's birthday cake.
Cannot wait.
Let's go ahead and give this a stir. Like I said, it should take about 90 seconds. It may be a little bit longer, especially like if your milk is cool. But our butter was softened, so
Right.
We'll see how we do.
In the next 30 seconds.
Yep. So, what are your
What's new?
What are your birthday plans?
My children are coming to visit.
Excellent, excellent.
So I'm going to have my family with
Oh,
me.
wonderful.
And you know how I am when it comes to family.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. How about the cake? You gonna save it for them?
Yes, ma'am. Because it's just around the corner, my birthday.
But when are they coming?
They're coming on Saturday.
Okay, well, just don't tell anybody that the cake is here. It may not last till then, right?
That's right.
Okay, everything is melted. It's starting to dissolve good. But we're going to give it a little bit more.
A little bit more. Now, that because has butter.
Mm-hmm.
Once cool down, it's gonna get kind of again
It's going to harden up again.
Harden a
Not
little
real hard, but you know.
a little bit.
Right. Mm-hmm.
And if you do the nuts, it's gonna
It
harden
should-
a little bit.
Right. So that the hardened frosting should hold the nuts on top of the cake.
All right. Now I do know that your birthday is coming up also.
Yeah, mine too.
What
Yeah.
are you gonna be doing for your birthday?
I don't really know yet. It's right before Halloween, so a lot of times, you know, Halloween and my birthday kind of get
Yeah, that's me too. It's
put together a little
a little
bit.
bit before Halloween, so.
Yeah. Okay, this looks like it did come to a boil because I can see how it has bubbled around a little bit and it has changed consistency. It's a little bit clearer than what it was,
Yes.
or just the time before. So we're going to give it a stir. And to this, we're going to go ahead and add the 1 teaspoon of vanilla.
All right.
And we're going to mix that in. I'll let you do that. And then we're going to go ahead and gradually put in 1 cup of powdered sugar. And you may either stir or gradually put in. Which would you prefer?
I can stir.
Okay. And I'm just going to like put a little bit in at a time so it doesn't lump up on you.
Okay.
So we are just about finished here.
Okay.
And we're just getting the last few little clumps of the powdered sugar. We beat in the powdered sugar. And as we were saying earlier, as this sits, it will harden up a little bit. And you want it to have a drizzly look when we put it on. So
All right. So if I don't tell anybody when we make the cake,
it's going to
should
last
be
till
good.
your
It's
birthday.
going to be good.
It should last till your birthday. And if it doesn't, and you're the only one that knows about it, we know who ate it all, right? Okay, do you think we're ready?
We're ready.
So we are just going to, and like I said, this is going to run onto the plate and everything. But we're just going to go ahead and drizzle this on. And if you're not a big praline, brown sugar fan, you probably don't need very much. If you like it, just go ahead and load it on. And it's very fallish looking.
Yes.
So it can be, all the way through Thanksgiving. And
yeah, I mean, even for Thanksgiving, it could be.
because when we think of fall, we think of the apple time and the pumpkins and the spices and everything.
Smells really like a pumpkin bread or cake.
So how we doing?
It's looking beautiful.
That's good. We not only taste with our taste buds, we also taste with our eyes.
Yes.
That if something looks appealing, we don't think, when we think of mashed potatoes, we don't think purple usually,
Yeah.
or blue or anything like that.
Remember the time that they did the ketchup in green or
yeah,
blue?
yes, Heinz
that didn't work.
That didn't last very long. It's the
No.
green ketchup.
No.
But we eat fried green tomatoes.
Although
but
we have green tomatoes.
Yeah, we have green tomatoes, but we don't have green ketchup. That's
No.
for sure.
We tried, but didn't work.
No, and that was a bust. I don't know how much that cost Heinz, but
I don't know, but this is a good-looking birthday cake.
and we're going to top
Yeah,
it
we
with
need
some more
more
of our walnuts. Like I said, they're probably gonna fall off a bit, but we'll just scoop them up when we cut our cake. But as we were saying, we taste with our eyes also, so we always want to make something look presentable.
Presentable.
Exactly. That's, how do we do? Okay.
Gorgeous, as always.
And there we
Look at
go.
this. Look at this. This is just plain gorgeous.
And happy birthday.
Thank you so much. Happy birthday to me. Thank you. Thank you, Cindy.
You're welcome, Pilar.
We need to get together more often.
Again, yes. Be thinking of it the next time, what we can do.
Yes. Thank you for watching, and until next time.